Hi Stampers! Today I'm going to do a remake on a video that I made a long time ago. I didn't have the measurements for this layer here, so we're going to make this card today. So what you're going to need is some Cameo Coral, and that's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and then scored at 4 1/4. This is going to make your base. And then your layers for your face, the Whisper White is cut at 2 1/4 by 3, and the Apricot Appeal is cut at 2.5 by 3 1/4. And then the black is cut at 2 3/4 by 3.5. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And I'm also going to use some black grosgrain ribbon. Okay, so for the face, we're going to use the stamp set called Pick-a-Petal. And this is what that looks like. And it's got all these designs here, but we're going to use the petal with the polka dots for his nose. And then the outline circle for his eyes. Solid stamp for the inside. And then the petal that has the word smile on it, we're going to use that for his sad mouth. Okay, so first you're going to use the polka dot petal here, and I'm going to use the Cameo Coral for that. And I'm just going to stamp the petal. Let me show you here. I'm going to stamp the nose with the point going up. And I'm going to kind of put it towards the bottom of my layer here on the Whisper White. So it looks like that. And then I'm going to take the outline stamp with the circle and use that with the black StazOn. And I'm going to stamp the eyes right on either side of the nose there. Okay, so it looks like that. And then for the inside of the nose, I'm going to use the solid circle, and I'm going to use Apricot Appeal for that. I'm just going to stamp the inside like that. Cute. Okay, so then I'm going to take the smile petal here, and I'm going to use the black marker, and I'm going to use the brush tip, and I'm just going to outline the top part of the smile part of the petal, and this is going to make the frown. And then I'm just going to stamp that right below the nose like that. Okay? And then for the eyes, I'm just going to use the end of a pencil eraser, and I'm going to stamp that with the black StazOn, and this is going to be for the centers of the eyes like that. Close up some of these ink pads here. Okay, so then I'm just going to layer this onto the Apricot Appeal. Layer this onto the black. Okay, so there's your sad face. And then for the card, I'm going to use the Itty Bitty background stamp set. And I'm going to use this splatter. This is one of my ultimate favorite background stamps. It's been around for a long time. And I'm going to use this splatter. I don't know if that picks that up on the camera or not, but I'm going to use the Cameo Coral for the card. And I'm just going to stamp a border across the top. Okay, so it looks like that. Cute. Okay, so then at the very bottom of my card, I'm going to stamp the Get Well Soon, and that's from the Sincere Salutation stamp set. And I'm going to get the Get Well Soon out here. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp this over here on the right side on the bottom, so it looks like that. And then I'm going to take the black grosgrain ribbon, and I'm just going to tie a little bow or a knot over here to the right hand side, right underneath that stamped background image. It looks like that. Let me adjust this here a little bit. Okay. And then I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of the face. I'm just going to put 2. can just position this right over to the left-hand side. I'm going to actually lower that ribbon a little tiny bit. Okay, so there you go. Got your sad face, get well soon card. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Bye.